my God, this says I burned 13,000 calories. Forget the gym, I'm going to Baskin and Robbins.
Like so much in the information age, fitness apps can be a wonderful thing. But if they give you bad information, you might make questionable dietary decisions.
And if you're like a lot of us, you use the fitness app, MyFitnessPal, to help you make those decisions. And that's not a bad thing, really. See, fitness apps help us focus, maybe playfully obsess, on the things that you need to be focusing on and maybe playfully obsessing on when it comes time to changing habits, changing massive habits. So they can be a good thing. Just don't make them too much of a crutch.
MyFitnessPal and some others track two major components: calories consumed and, in theory, calories burned, most commonly through steps. Also, theoretically, tracking apps like MapMyWalk give you a more thorough and conceivably accurate picture of your steps and hence calories burned. Conceivably, anyways. We can track the calorie side of things pretty accurately if we stay on top of it, and if we use handy helpers such as the scan feature. MyFitnessPal, for example, has an enormous database of restaurants, grocery store items, and even home recipes at its disposal, taking a lot of the guesswork and keystrokes out of calorie entry. Which brings us to the other side of the equation, and for a lot of us, that's walking. Walking can be a great part of any fitness program, beginner or otherwise. Chances are, you already have appropriate clothing and, assuming you're not a politician or something, there's no training required. Even the relatively out of shape can start racking up miles, and a basic foundation of fitness immediately.
You see, steps you take translate into miles walked. Miles walked translate very directly into calories burned. Calories burned translate into food you can add onto your daily intake and still lose weight.
So it'd be a really great thing if we knew the steps, miles, calories our fitness app was deducting from the daily calorie tally were in any way accurate, such that we're not eating ginger bread when we should be having ginger tea. But where to start? Should this remain a mystery never to be solved? A good place to start might be somewhere where we can nail down more or less exactly the distance covered and the actual steps taken, which is exactly what we did. We headed to the local track and commenced stepping and counting. And stepping and counting. Morning or evening, phone in pocket or in hand, goofy, bad-fitting clothing or no, we counted steps, rang up some 20 miles, and compared the results to those we got from MyFitnessPal. We'll give you the summary here.
Oh, and I should point out, these results are probably less scientific than Bill Nye crash landing a drunk unicorn at Lilith Fair. So you might want to take these with a grain of pink Himalayan sea salt.
Okay, so the most noticeable thing is that the longer distance you walked without stopping, starting, or changing direction all that much, the greater the accuracy is across the board. For example, I noticed that if I got in and out of the car a lot of times, that the mileage would go up very quickly, whereas walking around a track, it didn't go up so quickly. I think that was because walking around a track, it tended to settle out and be more accurate. iPhone and MyFitnessPal, which are supposedly the same thing because MyFitnessPal draws from iPhone, but they aren't quite the same thing. They never do work out to be the same. They were always more accurate than MapMyWalk, which is a popular walk app. And this is in short distance or long distance. It's pretty much any distance. Every time I used MapMyWalk, I felt like a superhero because it seemed like I could run up 11 miles very easily. I should clarify here and say that MapMyWalk always overestimates. It never underestimates the amount of steps you've taken or the distance you have walked. And what is that amount of overestimation? The most accurate I ever saw on MapMyWalk was within 10% of what was actually real. Generally speaking, it was higher than that, and in fact, sometimes, with a lot of stopping and starting, it was like 40% higher. For shorter distances, iPhone and MyFitnessPal usually were about 10% over. And here's a quick example of what I was talking about. MapMyWalk way overestimates the number of steps and the distance you have walked. I've noticed this in short or long distances. This seems a little counterintuitive to me because MapMyWalk has this really nice navigation map that walks you along as you go. And now for where the rubber chicken meets the road and what we're really after and what we really care about anyway. And that is, how many additional calories can you eat thanks to all the walking that you've done? And it's here that we notice MyFitnessPal is pretty conservative. For example, using a rule of thumb of 100 calories per mile, that would be 300 calories walking 3 miles. And MyFitnessPal says that's only 175 calories. MapMyWalk, on the other hand, following true to form, says you burned a gazillion calories. Well, okay, not a gazillion, but over 500. And here, interestingly enough, it might be pretty close to correct. Because someone like me who's 238 pounds, I should burn more per mile than 100 calories. That said, I think that 554 calories is a little bit pie in the sky. Pie. So what's that all mean? Well, use the conservative route or none at all.
And that last comment shall serve as the basis for our benediction. While practicing Your 100-Pound Life, so far I've lost 60 pounds, and I've done it mostly by limiting calories. I've exercised a lot. I've in fact lifted a lot of weights too. However, those weren't my concentration. Those add to lifestyle, life enjoyment, and an overall fitness for duty, if you will. No, it's calories. For example, if I walked 11 miles and in theory burned 1,100 calories, I don't add that to the calorie. Calorie? You know what I'm trying to say. No, in the end, exercise is for everything surrounding weight loss, if not necessarily the weight loss itself. Put another way, you lose your weight in the kitchen, not the gym. Thanks for watching. Happy healthing. Do it now.
Yo ya con los tacos los rastraba.